Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. We are back live, back in action, baby. We got a little squad in the building. It's good, boys. How y'all feeling, man?
Good, man. What's happening?
Hey,
we
man,
made it to 2024, baby.
We
made it to 2024. I'm still alive.
That's all that matters,
Still
baby.
alive.
That was the barometer for me. I mean, I didn't have a high bar. No, at the end of the day, man, we've made it to 2024. Justin Fields has made it to 2024. The Bears have the #1 overall pick. And what will be the outcome? The Chicago Bears have the perfect set of options in front of them heading into this season. So we'll talk about that. Got to talk about what the Bears can get back, is being reported by Courtney Cronin and Jeremy Fowler for the first overall pick for Justin Fields, and what decision Ryan Poles will have to make in all of that. All that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Kid's going to hate me for this because I don't have the other one. Oh, wait, maybe I do? Oh, nope, that's just Kid's intro.
He did that on purpose. He does it on purpose. All right. It's okay.
Let's see. Yeah, I did a little reverse psychology there. Just a little, yeah, it was his intro. It wasn't the main intro. It was his intro. Now we got to run the other intro. No, I'm just playing. What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Pastor Designer, back at it again. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Big shout out to everybody in the building. We got the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid. And, of course, the super producer, Joel Holt. We pronounce our R's around here. Hard R on super producer, Joel Holt. Let's jump into this, boys. We got a very jam-packed show to get here today. There will be no watch party today for the Chicago Bulls. Just want to give you guys a heads up on that. If you're wondering, why the heck are you guys live? Great question. Let's jump into the first topic, though. I think this is a very interesting, because there's a lot that Ryan Poles has to weigh when heading into this offseason. Don't know if you guys saw the article that Courtney Cronin and Jeremy Fowler wrote. I hope you did, because I sent it to both of you. But the best part about doing the Chicago Bears podcast is I actually get to talk with Courtney Cronin before doing shows like this, and got some really good insight into where this team is. But the report is basically that the Bears can get a haul no matter what they do. And I think that the best place to start is here, right? Is you're heading into this last week. I think this is the best week to have this conversation. I've said this multiple times, because whether we beat the Packers or lose to the Packers, we're going to go one way or the other, right? This is the last time of the season that we will be level-headed. Like, if we beat the Packers, it's like, flip the table. We beat them. They got a quarterback. Here we go. If we lose to the Packers, I'm still flipping the table, but it's for a very, very different reason. As we sit here today, if you're Ryan Poles and you're looking at the scenario that just happened with the Atlanta Falcons, what are you leaning towards, I guess, is the question. Are you leaning towards, right, like as you sit here today, are you feeling like Justin Fields had a great game versus a top 10 defense, did something that a lot of people said that he couldn't? To me, looked the best he's looked as a quarterback overall. His draft stock his trade stock just went up. Or are you, I've got my franchise QB, I'm sticking with him, I'm moving forward, is now this #1 overall pick that I also locked up that day just went up. He won Sunday, by the way. He's the one that won Sunday. The Bears didn't win, just Ryan Poles.
Yeah. The way I see it, look, Justin, I like Justin Fields, and I think he's going up. He's trending upwards in terms of being a quarterback that can, make smart decisions, protect the ball. And we're in the process of he's learning how to play quarterback on a team that's been rebuilding. So even if he doesn't get to the ceiling of what we want as a quarterback, you have 2 years before you have to do anything with him. So to me, I'm trading that pick down. I want to build my team up. I've been saying that the whole time. Yeah. And the thing is, now we can sit there. I mean, I remember when Poles got here, I said, man, I want my safety. I said, I want my safety. We haven't had a safety since Mike Brown. We get Jaquan Brisker. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, we definitely need to get O-line. Now, I did want Bijan. I did, but it was just more about being
You did
greedy.
a good job not crying during the game. I will say that. I thought you were going to break out in tears multiple times.
However, with that being said,
Because he did look great. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, I guarantee
he looked okay. He looked okay.
I guarantee you, we can get you Isaiah Pacheco next year, running like a cartoon character every time he get the opportunity.
No, but I want to see. I want to say I'm level-headed enough to understand that you have to build a team. We have when you have a good offensive line, you stay relevant year in and year out. So I want to see us get the lineman, trade down if we can, maybe get a left tackle. We got to get a center, and I would try to. This is what I want. Matter of fact, I don't know if I forgot to upload it. I want them to trade with New York. I want him to get we'll go down to 8. And I want Quinnen Williams. I want you to go after Quinnen Williams.
Oh, you going Jets? You're going Jets.
I want them to go to the Jets, trade that pick, get Quinnen Williams, forego 2 of those, whatever. Give me a number 1 pick and another one. Build my D line.
Yeah.
Now I traded down to 8. If I can still get one of the premier tackles and build around Justin Fields, I'm doing that. And we still got our 10th pick.
I saw that report, and I think ultimately, like you said, Ryan Poles won the most of the last game. And sorry if this audio is kind of weird, but I ain't had time to fix it. Anyway, moving forward though, but realistically, like you said, Ryan Poles is the one who won. I was on the fence with Justin Fields until he showed me what he can do. That's why I said let the rest of the season play out. If the rest of the season plays out and he looks mid, we don't have a game like we did with Atlanta. Oh yeah, I'm trading him. It is what it is. Like I gave you a fair shot. But not only did the team rally around him, he actually played phenomenal. I thought, like you said, he had the best game he's had in a Bears jersey. In my opinion, it was the best game he had. It looked complete. And then everything looked complete. Luke Getsy actually looked better. DJ Moore was so wide open so many times. I'm like, I don't know whether it was just the execution, a couple of things they had. I know that they were picking a lot, but like realistically, DJ Moore was wide the freak open a lot. And I was like, yo, and Justin got him the ball. So like if you're betting on that continuity and betting on that synergy right there, oh yeah. And then the voter confidence they got in MHJ, which kind of made sense. I didn't know that DJ Moore and MSJ actually knew each other that well. I didn't know.
I don't know. I saw that report that they grew up together. I was like so
how
he
been in the league
8th graders?
Yeah, like what
the 8th graders? Like I don't know.
Maybe the heck he's like a young mentor.
Hey, listen, don't let that story come out.
Yeah. No, I think big brother, whatever. No, I just think that continue. If you trade away Fields, you got to start. You're going to start all over again. I mean, we went from a 3-win team to possibly 7 to 8 win team.
Yeah.
And if we don't know what Poles wants to do, but if he wants to do that, you're starting the clock all over again. You know, to me, I think they're bringing all these folks back. I think they're bringing Getsy back and Eberflus back. So you're going to continually build on this team. We don't have a 3 technique yet, unless we're saying that our man Dexter is that guy.
I think that depends on this last game, right? Like there's certain people that this Green Bay really matters for.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Dexter come out with another sack and a half day. You probably going into this offseason saying, hey, listen, we got us one of them dogs.
Yeah.
We got one of those guys. And adding Montez Sweat to that.
Montez Sweat changed a lot.
Is huge.
I just think I guess, too, when it comes to Justin Fields, right? When we're seeing how the maturation of Lamar Jackson, for example, when he came out, he was not a great passer. He was more athletic. He could make some plays, and they built around him. I feel like that's where he's the Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson lane of being a quarterback. I think everybody's
he's the new kind of quarterback.
Yeah, but everybody's. I think it's like Mahomes, and who, by the way, ran a lot. And he settled down.
Also the new kind of quarterback.
Yeah, so he's more pass. We want him to be a pass first,
600+ yard runner though.
No. He's not going to be somebody that's going to run the football a ton. But like I think a lot of times the thing that irritates people about Justin Fields is his running behind the line of scrimmage, right? Holding on to the football, trying to extend the plays, trying to lead down. Go watch Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes be like, "Hey, I'm back here, up, spin off. Let me get something open here. Where you at down there?" Hey, he been throwing into some double, triple, quadruple coverages this year, boy. I thought it was Mitch Trubisky over
because I know you don't want to take off the fan base. Those people are stupid. Because
we got 100 in the chat.
We got
100 in the chat.
Just a quick 100 in the chat. Over 100 in the chat.
Oh, we lost 3. Never mind.
Oh,
Never
darn
mind.
it, Joel.
It just dropped. It was 100.
Right.
It dropped.
But still, those people were complaining
By the
about
way,
Justin
breaking news, just a quick break. David Tepper was fined $300,000 for throwing that drink on a fan.
That's what he get.
That's expensive, and you didn't even finish the drink. like that drink had to be trash, bro. Like you didn't even finish it, bro. Like
so
David
does
Tepper
the
to me-
fine goes to the people he threw it on?
It should. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nah, actually, never mind. Like, hold on now. It was a drink. He didn't like throw freaking fire on these people. They're fine.
Hey, let's get back to football. Who cares about that? The whole point is that we got to keep building this team. You see GM hat, don't you?
Hey, listen. That was football because he was pissed that Ryan Poles pulled off the greatest fleece of all time. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Like, that was football now. Let's not act like it wasn't. No. I think that what's interesting, there were a couple of things that really stood out to me in this article. The one thing that I mentioned on the podcast with Courtney and kind of talked with her is, listen, just as many highs as there are also lows. Right. And we can't sit here and pretend like there's not. There are moments where Justin Fields doesn't get the ball out. There are moments that Justin Fields still needs to improve as a passer. Right. One NFC executive said, I think we know what Fields is at this point. A great athlete and a playmaker who misses some throws. He shouldn't or doesn't always take the throws available to him. You can win some games with him, and he's got some elements to his game that are really impressive, but it's not sustainable long-term from a pocket passing standpoint, in my opinion. And I think my comment back to that would be, and he's not wrong. I don't disagree with what he said. My comment back to that, though, would be very similar to what Joel said about how he's kind of like Lamar Jackson. I don't want you to be a pocket passer. Can Lamar pass more from the pocket this year because his offensive line is better? Yeah. But can Lamar get out on the edge and absolutely scare the heck out of you and extend a play and turn a broken play into a big play? Yeah, he can. And that's what I want to see my quarterback be able to do. I don't know why they're still sitting here trying to hold on to this old school pocket passer when almost nobody in the NFL is still that. Like, what we got? Justin Herbert and Burrow.
You know what's funny? Like, what is this?
Oh, Joe Flacco is making a resurgence. He's dotting people up.
Hey, Joe Flacco coming back, baby. Hey, Flacco to the bowl.
Hey, Flacco is out here, baby. Telling them to get the Flack out of here.
The Flack out of here is crazy. Shout out to football. CF Candy said, if Love outplays Fields, fans will want him out. No, and that's why I said it's good to have this conversation now, because very much so a lot of people's minds will be changed or not based on what next week happens, right? That's just how Packer week goes. The reason that everybody was on Fields' heels to start the season is because we lost to the Packers to start the season, and we didn't end up going out there and being able to get a win.
And they were
were not prepared.
And Dan Orlovsky was sitting there saying he should be MVP. Like everybody, the hype machine was up.
Yeah, Orlovsky do that though. I like.
I'm just saying, but the national media. But the national media was, really
Orlovsky, the type of dude to be like, Justin Fields could be the MVP, but I mean, if you look at the scenario he's in, he's possibly the worst quarterback in the NFL. Like, Jesus, dude.
Like, but it wasn't wrong though.
A little bit?
It wasn't wrong though. Like realistically, we just in such a Zach Wilson. He had Zach Wilson levels of bad. Like he really.
Hey, bro. Well, and that is some of the things, right? I think that article really points to the fact that there are some really good highs with Justin. There are some really good passing moments with Justin. There's some great things that Justin Fields is able to do. There's also some of the worst moments we've seen on a football field with Justin. There's also moments where he's not letting the ball go. There are sacks this season that are on him. Now, I think most of them are earlier pre-thumb injury. I think the injury that he got is his fault because he's holding the football way too long in that situation. But when you watch Justin Fields, the Justin Fields we saw versus Atlanta, versus a top 10 defense, versus a defense that had allowed the fewest red zone touchdowns in the NFL, you saw Justin Fields be able to go out there and dominate them. I thought he was reading the field really well. Thought he was getting the ball out a lot quicker. How he was able to Dan Orlovsky just did a breakdown talking about how Justin Fields was using his eyes to manipulate where the DBs were on the field, how he also was reading what the defense was giving him and adjusting in the middle of that, how he was trusting where the play was going to be. Things are just very different at the end of this season. I mean, since he's come back from the thumb injury, you're talking about 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Remember, 2 of those are on those Hail Mary attempts where it's like the ball got kicked in the air and one shouldn't have been called a pick. Ball just hit the ground. We're not changing that, though. And he's got 3 rushing touchdowns and 289 yards. You're starting to see him develop into the kind of QB that you want. But I think that's really why, to me, when you look at Ryan Poles right now, that's why the decision for him is so big. That's why it's like you could stick with Justin or you can go with the next quarterback that you're going to bring in here. And at the end of the day, I love the fact that we have the options.
Yeah. Well,
and the one
I
thing
think
I do know is Arthur Smith would pay a lot to get Justin Fields.
Well, Arthur Blank may not be there next year.
Arthur Blank.
Listen, right? They need a QB so bad right now. Anybody, I mean, there's like 6-7 teams that really need QBs who would be in the hunt for that. We even saw some random report that the Broncos would probably even be interested in, and I highly doubt that. But even still, and that's the interesting thing about this conversation too. We're still in a season where we've seen a lot of good QBs play bad. We've seen a good QB still get the axe, even though he played decent with a bad O-line. Russell.
Listen, that's a different situation. They probably about to get fined out there. That David Tepper fine about to look like chump change. They about to fine them millions for that.
Oh yeah, the NFL. What is it? The
NFLPA about that. That's about to get bad because they openly was just like, yeah, we just told them, you can't have your contract. What? Y'all know y'all can't say that, right?
Yeah. I think to your point about Poles, the decision he has to make, he's got 2 years. Whether I don't understand why everybody's like, oh, you got to
has a year. Stop saying 2. He has a year.
No, but the whole point is that he can play it out. He can play it out to his 5th year.
Pick up his 5th year option if you're going to keep him around next year. You got to make that decision in March, I believe, March 2024. So you would pick up his 5th year option if you're going to keep him here.
And then if he doesn't work out, the issue is like right now you got this talk about what his value is now, right? Yeah. Now you're hearing, Atlanta could give him 2 firsts, or now we're in a 2nd or 3rd pick for this guy. So it's more about what you think you can get from him, or they might do like a New York Giants thing where he plays out, he gets extended, how they did, Danny Dimes, or you can let him walk. I mean, I think it's going down the Kansas City route. You built the team up. They had Alex Smith. They built this team up around him, and Alex Smith walked. They had drafted his replacement the year prior. So that's why I was saying, like, if anything, we could draft a quarterback in 2025, and then when Fields if he doesn't work. Yeah, and you let him go, you have his replacement waiting because you've built up the O-line. But everybody's they throw generational talent around like it's nothing out here. Generational talent. Everybody's a generational talent. No, all of these guys have just been playing, and they're all athletic now. So the point is that they're able to do way more things, and they're more specialized than folks were 20 years ago when it comes to playing all these sports, basketball, football, anything that everybody's doing. So to me, why not wait? If it's Arch Manning and Shador, why not wait for that? And then if we have enough draft capital, then we can just give it all up to get the quarterback.
Because you don't know if you will be in that position. You can't wait for something you may not be in position for.
But if you have
in this position to get the number 1 now, you're definitively in a position to actually do it today. You have no idea what's going to happen to even say, hey, let's go after these people. Like that's the only reason why we've been in this conversation for these 2 years is because we were trading back the number 1 to get another number 1 who we knew we had a good chance to get. There's no way we can actually replicate that 3 years down the line now.
Hey, I would say that, but I didn't think we was going to end up with the 1st overall pick this year. I like Carolina.
I was hoping top 3. I was hoping top 3 last year. Like, maybe we get
Carolina
the top
3 was a 7-win team last year. That would put them right about the 10th pick overall. Like, I would have been very happy with that. But the funny thing about this is, right, supposedly in the article they break down how they've talked with teams around the league, talk with multiple GMs that here's the thing, right? I said the highs are the highs and the lows are the lows. For all the GMs that are sitting there telling you that you can get, that you would move on from Fields, I'd be ready to be done with him. Let's get up out of here. There's the same amount of GMs that are going, hey, man, listen, every week, and Courtney said this, every week that she's talked to them, because they've been doing this multiple weeks now, the draft capital's gone up. It started at a 4th round pick after the Cleveland game, right? I'd probably give a 3rd round pick. Feel like there was some things. Now you get to after the Atlanta game, it's like I'd give a 2nd round pick for him.
I always say it was worth a 2nd round pick.
What's going to happen after the Green Bay game is going to be really interesting to see. But I think the fact that you can get that kind of draft capital, and it wouldn't be just a 2nd round pick straight up, right? You're talking about getting multiple pieces in there as well. But you're getting a 2nd round pick. You feel like you've got a situation that, okay, and I think what's different is you've got the team in place. You're still building, you're getting draft capital back. The difference that is happening now versus what Justin Fields went through, the difference that is happening now versus what Mitch Trubisky went through is you're 2/3 of the way there for your offensive line. You've got a top 5 defense already in place. You've got a situation where your coach feels like he's ready to go. You look at the board there that Joel has up there. I just threw that one up on me. I didn't know what was going on. I got scared. But you look at the players that you have here. And I think honestly, Joel, this is probably time for us to update this again, because I would say Jalen Johnson has been Pro Bowl caliber. I would say Yannick Ngakoue's done, so he's not out there anymore. But DeMarcus Walker's played well. I would say Tremaine Edmonds has played. He's probably still just been good, but he's played better. I think that there's a lot better on the defensive side that
maybe Eddie Jackson. Now. Eddie Jackson moves the average.
Eddie Jackson probably moving the average as we welcome in C-Dub and Jordan to the show here. What's going on, boys? How y'all feel?
The point is, though, we still got
what's up, fellas? What's up? What's up?
Just come back. They just there.
We need we need the center. We need a center really bad. I would really like to move, like the left tackle. I would love to see upgraded. I'd like to get this 3 technique. You know,
we probably need to move Billings to good. Shout out to Gucci Finesse.
I would like to see Tyreek move to free safety and see, because I think he's talented.
Stevenson?
Tyreek might be a number 1 overall corner. I don't want to see him anywhere else but corner. He might. Well, he's good enough to be your number 1 corner on the team. Jalen Johnson is just there.
So he's made huge strides since the beginning of the season to now where he is.
He was always highly touted, though. He was always highly touted. Do we move on from Jalen Johnson then?
No, you re-signed Jalen Johnson.
So we're gonna keep all 3 of them.
Keep all 3 of them.
So we keep all 3 of them.
Why not?
Hey, man, that's secondary lethal.
But we need a free safety, and we still need a 3 technique.
Yep.
If Dexter is that guy, or does Dexter become, like I said, he's next to the 3 technique? Is he the under tackle guy that takes that the
nose tackle?
Yeah.
You got Bill on that. Bill ain't going nowhere. Big Billings is going to be in that lineup. He's done a really good job. So I think that you probably stick with that. And I think the thing is, right, I think the fact that we're able to have this conversation before we get too far off point, the fact that we're able to have this conversation tells you the team is partially built. The team is almost there.
Yeah.
If you were to move off of Justin Fields with the draft capital that you could get from that being in place, you could have a scenario where you're talking about a quarterback coming in to a team that is 3/4 of the way there. Guess what? That's what Patrick Mahomes came into. That's what Jalen Hurts came into. That's what not really Joe Burrow. Yeah, that's what Brock Purdy came into. Now I'd like a little bit of better play calling on that, but that's what those guys came into in the scenario where you move on from Fields. So you're able to get a draft haul for Justin Fields. It's not going to be a pick straight up, right? You're going to have to get a couple of picks in there to make that kind of deal work. You can still continue to build your team while getting the next quarterback and resetting the clock. That is one of the options that's available to the Bears. I don't know if that's the best case scenario, because as much as everybody's like, we have time with this defense, you got 3 years, right? NFL defenses, you got 3 to 4 years, 4 years max, right? Unless Ryan Poles is literally the elite of elite at drafting defensive players.
Well, his cornerback scouting room is really good. His cornerback scouts, DBs, they're great. The wide receiver room, we got to kick those out of there.
Yeah, we can do better.
We might need to fire.
Is that a McCaskey in there? Get him out of the room. He doesn't scout receivers at all. Get him out of here. No way.
This is actually my question to you. Do you go on full offensive assault when it comes to drafting this year? Because technically, that's what we've kind of been waiting for, and that's what we really need. We really need that number 2 at the receiver from DJ Moore. We really need. I mean, Kokomet's doing this thing. Like outside of that, do you trust Tyler Scott? Do you trust? I
ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
What up,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was watching. I listen. I know Joe don't want to do it. I was watching MHJ tape yesterday. I would say I'm probably not trading 2 or 3, but if I'm trading to like the 4th spot, bro, listen. Sometimes sometimes somebody's so good, we sit there and go, nah, he got to be overrated, and we try to find things that he don't do well.
That kid
no deficiencies in his game,
bro. When I tell you, I thought I was watching Justin Jefferson at Ohio State, bro. When I tell you, I thought I was watching Jamar Chase at Ohio State, bro.
Yeah, man.
He's so freaking good.
Do you understand?
I'm not even the person that's gonna be like I agree with Joe. Like Joe, he brought me over to the dark side. Top 5 wide receivers don't win Super Bowls on teams. They don't. I get it.
Not when they're the focal point. Not when they're the focal point. When they are the focal point, they don't.
Bro, listen.
But if you can add him,
I'm gonna be real with you. If we get to 5 and we don't pick him, I'm gonna be a little mad. I'm not gonna be pissed off flipping it. I'm gonna be
if he's still on the board. I'm gonna say absolutely.
This, but fellas,
who's his quarterback now?
Who's his quarterback
the
now?
Ohio State quarterback.
That's tough. I ain't even looking.
I would say this though.
I'll get back to you.
We're not looking at it. You got to look at it from this lens though. The way that this scheme works on defense, you need certain players to make this work, right? And we've seen it very dominant. I don't think we have all the players we need to make that defense dominant.
Devin Brown? I don't know.
So, but on offense, what is our identity on offense supposed to be? Are we supposed to have this Shanahan?
Honestly, it probably should still be a balance between running and passing. Running to set up the pass, the play action.
But we're not. But my question is, in terms of filling whatever this identity is, we know we need linemen.
Oh, Kyle McCord, that's right. He did just transfer in. Yeah.
But I think we're missing the receiving running back threat, like the Green Bay Packers with Aaron what's his name?
Jones.
They had Aaron Jones. They got 2 running backs, right? Even in San Francisco with McCaffrey, but with Debo, like we're missing an element of this in the offense to make it really click. If that's the offense we're supposed to be running, so we need linemen and we need another playmaker. Now,
so you're saying that we need a running back that can commit to actually catching the ball out of the backfield? Because I think we have that in Roshan. I just don't think we utilize him enough. His time hasn't come yet.
What I seen was a lot of scrimmage. We were missing scrimmage like players. Like Green Bay had like 2 running backs that from scrimmage had like 1,000 yards each, on top of your boy that went to Oakland or the Raiders. So I feel like we're missing that. Whatever our identity is on offense, we're missing the pieces for that offense to click. On defense, I think we're missing our Urlacher / Derek Brooks linebacker on defense on top of the nose tackle. Like it was Warren Sapp, Brooks, Lynch. It was Mike Brown, Tommy Harris, Urlacher. On the Indianapolis Colts, it was both.
Well, you got to have that's the problem though, right? You're missing that right now because you got to have your Tommy Harris, right? Urlacher.
That's what I'm saying.
Urlacher was amazing his whole career, but Urlacher without Tommy Harris did not look nearly as good as Urlacher with Tommy Harris.
And our defense wasn't as great because we never got that safety back when we lost Mike Brown.
Yeah,
like we had a good defense because we had Briggs and what have you, but we're still missing a couple pieces on our defense to really click on our identity for the defense as well as the offensive side. So whatever we draft, where's my graphic at? I hope that Poles, he's going to identify that and he's going to scout. Everybody was high on all these picks last year, right? It was Peter Skoronski. No, not that one. And where's my in polls we trust?
Oh, Peter Skoronski.
Oh, you want this one? Oh, we got that.
In polls we trust. Yes,
president, baby.
I can see that one.
Yes,
in polls we trust, baby.
I like C-Dub trying to just get around this.
Hey man, we're in a good situation, man. Like just thinking about the problems that we talk about are good problems to have, man. When you really think about the fact that we're like, are we going to give away a guy that's probably what is Justin Fields, top 15, top 10 quarterback? And
no,
you're gonna get a lot of hate for that.
You're gonna get a lot of hate.
You're gonna be called a justice sexual. That's where all that comes in.
Hey, bring it on.
Gonna come for you now.
We're trying to be. We're objective. They're
gonna
wrong.
say you hang out with Jordan, play Monopoly.
Come on,
hey,
that's an insider joke that will never come out on the show, but just know it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
But I feel like we got a good problem to have, man. Like honestly, we got options, man. And it's like Ryan Poles is really proven, bro. Like honestly, I am a Justin fan, but I'll say this: like whatever the decision he decides to go in, if he's trading Justin Fields or if he's trading the number 1 pick, hey, I'm with you. Yeah. Because, hey, he's proven to me that, obviously, that miss with Claypool, but like everything else, in my opinion, bro, has been spot on with Poles.
Velus Jones.
Okay.
I don't know who's in the wide receiver room. We got to fire that guy. For some reason, we keep trying to turn punt returners into wide receivers. I don't know what's going on with that. Is it only the dude that drafted Deshaun Jackson in there? Is that all it is? You know what I mean? Like it's the only guy trying to. Hey, we got to go get a kick returner and turn him into a wide receiver. No, we can just go get wide receivers. They out there. Romeo Doubs was available, boys. Remember, I watched the tape. It looked good. Romeo Doubs was available. But no, he's
Velus actually hasn't been.
Don't say it.
Stop it.
Oh, hey, hold on. Stop the cap. But what you about to say?
I got it, boys. Don't worry about it.
Stop the cap. He's out of here. Hey,
I can get back in.
Hey, first live of the year, you want a cap like that? Stop.
No, you know why? Because I see the speed and I think of what they're trying to do with him being able to. He's shifty, right? The problem is he had fumbleitis, right? But he hasn't.
Joe,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hey Joe, you want to know why he has a fumble? Hey Joe, you want to know why he has a fumble? One, he's been on kickoff. Nobody's returning kicks except him.
There you go.
Him. And 2, he was benched for like 6 weeks.
But they've been using him. They were using him in running back packages the last couple games.
Yeah, the last couple games. This man was benched for like 6 weeks straight.
Look, I understand that. I know, but what I'm saying is,
you know what? This is the funny part. You see these people agreeing with you? This man said Velus could be a 4 or 5 receiver. This man said maybe it's the OC for Velus. The OC can't catch.
Hey, bro. Hey.
The OC can't make him do his job.
All I'm saying.
Hey, kid. Robert, not wrong. A 4 or 5 receiver is a receiver that the quarterback will never get to.
All I was saying was, I was just speaking to that Velus. Look, all we're talking about is growth of players, right? We've seen some of them grow. Thank you, Drew. I was saying that,
Drew, you come on.
No, I'm just saying all I saw. Did you guys know? Look, I'm not necessarily. He's not going. I don't think he's going anywhere.
How we get on Velus, bro?
My point was just drafting, seeing the talent in this guy. That's all.
Yeah, let's not.
And we missed. We missed.
Hey, we missed. Right.
Hey, you know what? I wipe my hands of it. Okay.
Now I will say this. We did this exercise the other day on ESPN when I was on the radio, and we looked at receivers taken after Velus. It's not good. Right, like all the good receivers went before Velus, so that's the part that's tough. George Pickens, I don't know what he is. He's a mixed bag or something. But like that man said, I don't block for my teammates, but I'm gonna put up 6 touchdowns the next week. That didn't make no sense at all. But yeah. I think here's the thing, right? When the conversation that we're having, like I want Bears fans to like almost enjoy the debates that you're having with people on for Justin or against Justin, because we're talking about, do we want Justin Fields, who to me since he's returned from his thumb injury has proved that he could be a capable starting quarterback in the NFL, or do we want the first overall pick, which could be, hopefully, if Ryan Poles evaluates it right, the best quarterback in the draft? This is a better conversation than what we've had in our past, guys. Like,
it's a hard. Yeah.
Before this, we were like Mitch or Andy Dalton. It was like, oh God. The fact that we're saying or Andy Dalton tells me all I need to know about Mitch.
I think that the issue is the clock that has been started with this defense, right? We said 3 years.
Yeah.
So if you restart the clock and get a rookie quarterback, do we have enough talent to insulate that quarterback? Because he's going to do some rookie things. He will probably do some good things, and then he might hit the wall. So he'll come out looking great for about 4 weeks, and then when they get some tape on him, will he be able to overcome that? Now you got the CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's an outlier.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, he just took off. But that's one out of many that go through these ups and downs.
Well, when you all say 3 years, are you all talking about the defense being at its best in 3 years or because of the contract situations?
Usually your defenses end up falling apart after about 3 years because guys get beat up. Guys get, I mean, listen, they're in a car accident every single play. Some thought was going to be a 10-year linebacker ain't got no knees no more. You know what I mean? If Tommy Harris never gets hurt, that Bears defense is dominant for 10 years.
Yeah, that's
just about. Just about.
And you never found a way to replace Tommy Harris. So I think that there is that aspect that you have to think of. And I think to Joel's point, that is a very good reason why you probably want to look at why I think Ryan Poles may look deeply into holding on to Justin Fields, because there is the situation, like Joel said, where the quarterback that's coming in, we talk about Justin Fields learning a new system. This guy's got to not only learn a new system, he's got to adjust to the NFL. He's got to figure out what the heck he's looking at. Got to figure out what's going on across from him. That usually takes 2 to 3 years. I know everybody looks at these like quarterbacks and they're like, in year 2, he should get it. Pat Mahomes just got it last year, right? And he had won 2 Super Bowls by that point. And he literally was on record like, I kind of just figured all of this out like just now. So now it's going to get crazy.
And it helps having a
and then he got Matt
tight end. Let's get a Hall of Fame tight end. He had Tyreek for most of his career until last year. He had a good running game. At one point in time, they had one of the best defenses. They had one of the best offensive lines, and they've seen all this change, all this different.
And let me get a head coach that does allow me to play my game and just freestyle a lot. You know, Andy Reid is good for that.
But the issue is this. It's more about him being off script, right? You can let Justin Fields run around all day, but if he never actually learns how to play quarterback and then uses athleticism for his benefit, he will get hurt. He will get popped. He will tear his shoulder up or his knee. He almost wore out his hamstrings the last year, right? He's ran so much he couldn't even run anymore.
He was cramping like a mug. He had never ran that much. That mess was hilarious.
Exactly.
He's not even looking to run like that anymore. Like if you look at the game on Sunday, you could clearly see he's trying to stay in the pocket. He's really going through his reads.
Yeah.
And then, okay, if all else fails, I gotta be a Houdini magician and try to find a way to get up out of there. But I mean, honestly, he's not trying to do all that running. It's just out of necessity sometimes.
Well, and I think he's done a better job of that this year. I think the other thing too, by the way, over 200 in the chat, 271 in this
71. Wow.
Over 200.
Hey, subscribe.
200.
Yes, sir.
200.
Subscribe, fellas. We love y'all, Breeze Nation.
No, I want 3. I'm greedy. I want it all 2020.
Like, hey, we gotta get like names for when we in these boxes, because like I just love like Crystal in the comments. Facts, Socks Cap.
Shout out to Crystal Smith.
Appreciate you.
Bald head guy with mustache.
Bald head guy with mustache. Hey,
is there a way for you to let our names pop up?
Huh?
You can let our names pop up.
I
don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it.
We're going to close out the live.
I've been a hit the wrong thing. I'm not going to do none of that. Oh, Joe, welcome back.
Kick him out again.
No, I think. Oh, hold on. Participant names.
There you go.
I gotta rename. Now I gotta rename myself.
But now I gotta rename myself. Good Lord, what's going on here? Now we doing too much.
We got 2 super producers.
Square, baby.
Hope squared is crazy and uncomfortable. But no, I think at the end of the day, when I look at Justin's situation heading out of this season, they asked him multiple times, right? Do you feel like you've done enough to make the case? And I do. I feel like he's really okay.
Come on, man. What is going on?
Listen, now he's having too much fun. Now he's having too much fun. Yeah, But I think at the end of the day, when I look at kind of what the Chicago Bears have moving forward, Justin Fields has made their job harder, and that's a good thing. That's good. What I'm Joel Holt. These are the Whitney City Breeze.
What are you, David Ruffin? Get out of here, man.
Bro. He's big David Ruffin.
No, the Whitney City Breeze.
This is what happens when you give people,
and it goes right into my name. Like I was just. We have fun on this show, man. If you haven't hit that like button, your mama at this point, like that's really what it is. But no, I look at like you've made this conversation very tough, and it's a very good conversation to have now about the Bears' future. And if you're a Bears fan, no matter what you look right, like if you believe that there's a better quarterback out there than Justin Fields, and right, you can end up going out there and drafting that guy. Maybe there is, right? And maybe the Bears hold on to Justin, and we look back and we like, but we could have had that guy. That doesn't stop you from trying to build a team to go to the championship. That doesn't stop you from trying to insulate the situation that you're in. And I think the part that's on the other side of that is really, really interesting, and to me, the better than Fields, right? And the biggest case for keeping Justin Fields, Courtney Cronin and Jeremy Fowler in this article, sorry, y'all get back in a second, said that you can get more than what you got for the Bryce Young package for the #1 overall pick.
It's the look over the better for
you
me.
Can get more. Let me see if I can boost them up. Let me put them in a booster seat here real quick. Nope, didn't work. You can get more than the #1 overall pick for trading away, or than what you got last year for trading away Bryce Young. And this is why I said
because of that
this is why I said Ryan Poles won on Sunday and pulled off the ultimate fleece, because not only did you secure the #1 overall pick, everybody in the world now knows that you can draft. Tyreek Stevenson had 2 interceptions. Javon Dexter had a sack and a half. Kyler Gordon came away with an interception himself. Jalen Johnson ends up getting hurt. Terrell Smith steps in. Terrell Smith was your 5th rounder this year. He looks like he can be a starting DB in this NFL, and has had time in the NFL starting this season when Tyreek Stevenson ended up going down. Jaquan Brisker, we know what he is. J-Mac calls him Dove Brisker because you can use him everywhere and anywhere. I think that there's so many pieces that Ryan Poles. Darnell Wright looks like an absolute stud on the right side. I mean, listen, at the end of Nate Davis is the free agent sign is got to be a little scared. Nate Davis,
he gets $11 million. Even if
he got a couple more years.
I just argued with somebody about him. He's replaceable. We know what he went through in early off in the season, but his talent level is not where it's at. He can easily be replaced.
I think he's just better at one thing than the other. He's not right. Tevin Jenkins to me is an all-purpose guard. I could put you in there. You'd be great in run blocking. You could be great in pass blocking. You're an elite guard. I think Nate Davis is only good in pass blocking, and he hasn't had enough time on the field to get in a rhythm pass blocking this season, because he had the issue with the family member to begin. Then he ended up getting a concussion. Then, like he's been too on and off the field. And I think that on top of that, you're also dealing with a rookie. I think there's some blocking scheme issues at time. I love Seymour. I think he does a great job with putting the team together and putting together some good blocking schemes. But Nate Davis be like, I don't know. He just go left sometimes. And I think on top of that, right, Nate Davis is in probably the worst position out of anybody, because he's in the middle of a rookie right tackle who looks really good, but is still a rookie, and a center that can't figure out if he's supposed to be blocking, snapping, or doing both at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey, Raging Oracle, I'm not saying that he wasn't one of the better guards that we got when he was signed, but now that he had been signed, he hasn't been nowhere near top 12. So
he didn't play for like 4 games.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm
sorry.
I'm willing to no. I'm just saying I'm willing to, like, he needed the production. He should have had the production. He hasn't been good this year. I'm willing to say he's having a bad year. Right? Like I'm willing to say,
but you're a professional, man. You gotta show up and be a professional. You get paid a lot of money.
Hey, listen, you gotta be a professional for sure.
Whoa, we got 310 in the chat.
310 in the chat, baby.
325. Woo!
We put on the show, baby. The Pat Black show is in a full effect. Over 300 in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
Breeze Nation.
Hey, listen, I get it. I understand he's got to go out there. He's got to do his job. I agree with you. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be doing his job. I'm willing to see what he's able to come back as, though, because I saw him last season. He was a pretty good guard. I've seen him this season. He looks like he's falling off a cliff.
But
He
you
having
know
a
what,
tough
too?
year. I let me see what's going on next season before I'm like, nope, this was a horrible signing.
I think too. Also, you got to deal with.
So we'll
like,
give him
it
some
wasn't
grace and then wait till next year to see what's going on.
Yeah, next year you got to come back.
And
You know
all,
what I mean, but moms
Okay.
do. That's a different. That's sending you
Yeah,
to a
no, that's
different
rough.
mental space.
and also,
That's
you know,
rough. I agree.
there wasn't a
I
lot of
agree.
great talent coming out of the free agent class last year. Anyways, he probably did the best he could do, which also shows you, like, when you pay for free agents, you're paying for your missteps in the draft typically.
Yeah.
Like if you look at these contracts that like these guys have, and most of these teams, the way they're built, it's like there's only so many of them have big contracts because they have these monster cap hits. Most of these teams are built with these rookies that have been here 3 and 4 year deals, and then it comes into like, oh, we're going to have to pay these guys. So it behooves you to draft well so you can actually field a team. Otherwise, once you start paying these dudes, because like Jalen Johnson, his contract is up. Now he goes from making $3 million to possibly $15 million.
Yeah, probably close to the 20.
I'm just saying, but you went from paying $3 million for 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're paying Montez Sweat now $25 million a year for 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row coming up. Now, if you had drafted well, I mean, that's not his fault. That's him taking over this team. But the whole point is that, and which is why the whole Justin Fields scenario comes up. It's like I think we all believe that he can do well, but do we want to wait another? Is he worth $47 million after in 2 years from now? Does he get to that point? But some people want to move on from him because it's like we've watched him, so we're seeing the growth of this guy. Yeah. So that's the issue that that we have.
How much is he making? How much is he making for the next 2 years? Then, if they do pick up his option,
who, Justin?
This is what, $6 million, something like that.
Yeah,
like
I think
$4 million or something like that.
The 5th year is about 26, but I mean, like you're still in a good place quarterback wise.
Yeah,
right. Like that's why I said, like you're having a good conversation here as a quarterback, and to me, the conversation on why you would hold on to Justin, even just in case you want to move forward. Yes, you may miss on a quarterback, but if you can get a bigger haul than what you got for the Bryce Young trade,
come on, man.
I'm doing it.
No,
why wouldn't
Fields
by the
got
way,
$5 million.
We still have a 2nd round pick coming next year for the Bryce Young trade.
Yeah, we still
2025. Yes, sir.
Like there's
yes,
still
sir.
draft capital happening next year. And guess what? It's gonna be a high 2nd round pick because they not finna fix it in the draft this year.
Yeah, Fields is getting $5 million.
What's crazy is I think Poles, like, if he does this right, he literally could get more draft capital for the next 2 to 3 years in the earlier rounds.
Yeah.
On top of getting the pieces that we need to address the positions that are weak. Like, we're talking about elite GM status right now if this goes right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like,
listen, I told y'all he's pulled off the greatest fleece of my lifetime.
I agree.
He ran it back.
Joe's lifetime a little bit different. Joe a lot older than me. So he got the.
I've never seen 2 number 1s for Chicago.
He got to see Herschel Walker his rookie year.
Back years.
He got to see Herschel Walker in his rookie year. Yeah, I mean, he got.
He had Cedric Benson. Took Cedric Benson with the 4th pick.
He got to see the beginning of the quarterback position in the NFL.
Could you imagine though if you got DJ Moore and MHJ on the side of you right there, man, and you got you a center in the middle.
Yeah,
that offensive line is built in, bro. The weapons that he has at his disposal, this offense is gonna be on fire next year.
But I think
but he might not be
good centers in it. The 2nd
round.
Are
you taking MHJ number 1?
No, I'm moving back. I'm probably moving back to 4 or 5.
That means you're going to the Giants. Pull that draft thing back up because the Giants are 5th. Who else is going to take? Who we can? Yeah, he may not make it. Because so look, that means
you trade
the Giants. That means that no.
Well, it depends on this next week because if Washington wins,
the Giants will take a quarterback. Would the Commanders take a quarterback?
Cardinals are going to get that.
Hey, listen,
the Commanders take it
right now. Not passing up the Cardinals.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Look at
Kyler. Kyler's gonna be there.
Look at the situation. Look at the situation that the San Francisco 49ers just pulled off. If you find the right quarterback, nobody cares if you move on from the one that you paid previously. They do not like Kyler Murray. They have an entirely new organization in there. They may have to take it on the chin for a year, but taking it on the chin for a year don't mean that I'm going to miss out on an opportunity to draft your replacement because it's $108 million dead cap next year. But after that, I can move on from your butt.
So you're saying it's 4 quarter. You're talking about Williams, Drake May, Penix,
Jaden Daniels.
Penix might have made his draft.
And Jaden Daniels, and maybe Bo Nix.
Penix, if he wins this, then yeah.
So pull that back up again. Is the Patriots taking a quarterback? Are the Commanders taking a quarterback?
Absolutely.
The Cardinals, and then so we could potentially get at 5. We could probably get your boy MHJ.
Is it a sure thing that the Cardinals are taking
the only threat I see of MHJ not getting to us is the Cardinals because they still may keep Kyler Murray.
Yeah, no, for real.
That's the only threat I see.
What makes us think that they make it past Washington?
Because Washington need a quarterback.
You mean as far as
I know you believe in
MHJ?
Sam Howell, but that boy cannot play.
But that means to me,
they're gonna look for better.
Those quarterbacks are gold because we can. Still
I know
get
you
our
believe in
tackle.
Sam Howell, but Sam Howell is not a good quarterback.
So
hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Commanders definitely don't believe he's a good quarterback. So that's all that matters. They definitely getting rid of that boy.
I don't think the Cardinals are going to draft a QB, dog.
This is the problem, fellas. Well, you can't draft if you go to 2 or 3. You're not going to get the haul like that. You got to go to more like 8 or 9 because the whole point is the value of those picks. A number 2 pick.
The thing is, what Courtney and Jason pointed out in the article is you're getting a haul even if you trade down to 2 or 3 because people feel like there's going to be that much competition to go out there and get the best quarterback, and they feel like there is a gap. It's not I'm taking Caleb Williams and Drake May and I'm getting the same dude, right? I feel like that's how a lot of people felt the value went in Justin Fields trade, right? It was like Trevor Lawrence. And it was like, all right, I feel like Zach Wilson's the guy. I feel like Trey Lance is amazing. I feel like, and Justin Fields fall to 11. And we like, I feel like Justin Fields can be just as good as Trevor Lawrence, right? Like
Mac Jones.
Everybody at that time felt
Zach
like
Wilson.
But this is different.
Value was the same. This is like Caleb Williams, Drake May, the rest of y'all. So teams don't want to miss out on that.
Penix.
No, Jay, you got a Heisman winner there.
Yeah, but Penix is an older quarterback and he's also injury prone.
Yeah, Penix has had
that's the question mark with a lot of.
Yeah, but you got Jay McDaniels and Bo Nix. It's just not like Will Levis. I mean, he dropped, but they were all like the whole thing is that this is beautiful because you have so many quarterbacks.
Yeah,
where those picks are so valuable. Mm-hmm. The whole point is to get the haul, to get another 3 picks regardless. If we trade to 2 or 3, that means we're going to do kind of what Chicago, what we did with the Mitch Trubisky trade. You're going to get lower, like 2nd and 3rd rounder type picks versus 2 or 3 number ones. But I told you what I want. Go get me Quentin Williams and a couple picks. Go trade down to 8. Give me a couple more. Give me your 2 picks and Quentin Williams, and I'm happy. And now I
don't see it.
I don't want to miss out on MHJ.
You got a monster 3 technique, dude. Oh my God,
I'm just saying, like, there's no way that we can have our cake and eat it too. There's no way we like trade, like you said, we have to trade so far back to even be in a conversation for
to get
MHJ.
the haul.
I think we might as well.
I kind of disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Well, I mean, listen,
if you're in a bidding war for some of these teams,
that's not what's being reported. That is right in the article. They talk about kind of how teams around the league are viewing this number 1 overall pick. This is a more valuable pick than what you traded away. Because last year it was CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, and like we believed that one of them was going to be great, but we don't know which one. Yeah, Anthony Richardson snuck in there because he hit a scoreboard. Like that made no sense to me, and he got injured every game he played in.
And they moved up to 4 to get him, right? They moved up to 4 to get him.
They moved up to 4 to get him. So
we still want MHJ. We still have to have a pick that's somewhere within the top 5. That kid ain't leave the top 5. That kid is not
New England.
No, he's not. But I'm saying that bidding war is going to be so great.
So you got to go to 5 to the Giants.
Get a haul back.
But are we sure that Arizona's going to quarterback? Are we 100% sure they're going with a quarterback?
No. I feel like Arizona would go quarterback because I don't think they've ever liked Kyler Murray.
That's the only team that's a question mark in my mind. That's the only team.
Like
they could go either way.
I really don't believe. I've
Who's
said
his
this
number 1 receiver now?
Huh?
Who's his number 1 receiver now?
Ain't it
Who's his
Hollywood
number one
still?
receiver now? Trey McBride, his tight end.
Oh, the tight end.
Who's pretty. I ain't gonna lie to
We're
you.
getting Kyler. We're getting Kyler. They're getting Kyler a receiver. Listen, you said who? Get Kyler a receiver.
If you're talking about actual receiver, is Hollywood.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, right? We're assuming
Kyler
even if they keep Kyler Murray, we're assuming that they're going to get a receiver. Like that team need a lot of freaking help. That team needs an offensive line. That team needs running backs. Like, yeah, James Conner, cool, but he getting older. That team needs defense. Everybody on that team is gone. So if they go wide receiver, I'm gonna just laugh at it and say, yeah, I see MHJ in a few years, I guess, because
where's Atlanta in the draft situation?
They are ninth.
Atlanta's ninth.
They'll trade. They'll get Kyler Murray in Atlanta.
That's actually a good point, PK, because they might be a quarterback away from being very competitive.
Atlanta break their neck to try to get Justin.
Would you trade Justin
or that number one pick?
Fan base want him. Atlanta will break their neck.
Well, that's probably the team that you're looking at. Honestly, that's probably the team that you're looking at to move Justin, because they would end up giving you the most. And I think again, like I've said, there's so many situations here. You know, the one situation I think that no Bears fan is talking about, because it's got to be we in hot take area. It can only be one or the other. But we got to think about where our GM comes from. What if the Bears trade back, stay in the top 10, right? Get 9 and 10 back to back, and they still take a quarterback?
No one said.
What do you do? What do you do then? Do you trade away Justin Fields? Maybe not, because now, you got a top 10 quarterback, but it's a lot more easy to sit there and say, yeah, we're gonna let this dude do what I've done in previous situations, because our GM comes from Kansas City, where Pat Mahomes was sitting behind Alex Smith. Now, very different, 24 versus 35, right? Very different situation. But as you move further down the draft, it becomes a lot more palpable to say he's going to sit behind him. When Justin Fields was taking 11 and Andy Dalton was still starting, we was like, well, let's give him a chance to learn. We don't want him behind this offensive line anyway. And it just got to a point where it was like, Andy Dalton gonna die. Like, Andy Dalton actually did die. That's actually what happened.
We didn't have
he died, and Justin ended up getting put out there. That's literally what happened.
We had a 40-year-old.
The only reason why I would say that that's probably a bad idea is because if you're trying to make this team, well, by next year, I'm assuming we're going to be probably playoff ready. If you're going to draft or waste a pick on somebody that's not even going to play in the top 10, that's bad GMing. I think. You got to address the positions that are going to actually be playing on the field.
We could say that, but it looks really good in Green Bay right now.
I would say, so if you trade Fields we trade down and get a haul and trade Fields and get 2.
I got it. Here's the scenario. No quarterback next season. It's all Wildcat. We trade them both, and we only take running backs.
No.
I like that idea, Pat.
You trade that.
Lost your mind.
No, you start Bagent.
Of course you would like that, Harris.
You start Bagent, and then you draft.
Let's just do it. Let's go. Hey, all in for incompetence. Ready, set,
the entire stadium would be burned to the ground.
Well, that's happening anyway.
We got all these picks.
We got picks, baby. We got Justin Fields picks. We got first round picks. DJ Moore, QB1. Shout out Trippy Trips in the comments. Right? He throws it to himself.
But do you take a flyer on? Did we talk about the Russell Wilson situation if he gets cut, and then you trade
I'm good.
Like but you got all these extra picks, right? You're starting to get all this talent, I think it just depends on what is the true talent coming out of this draft. It's definitely got offensive line.
Oh, it's got some
very heavy
talent.
on.
It's got some
heavy on quarterback.
It's definitely the receiver.
You've got 2 receivers, but are there other key position players? Are there linebackers that could come out? Are there safeties?
No.
Do we have defensive ends? So you can get all these. The thing is being able to pick the best players available and whatever makes sense, right? In terms of trading what you have to trade to get the correct capital to trade down. Clearly, like we said, Poles and them, they have a gift for finding secondary players. They got DBs. They've done a very good job at that. So far, it looks like they can draft some linemen. They took a 5th round with Braxton Jones. He's starting, and we got Darnell Wright, who looks like to be a really good standout offensive lineman for us. So we'll see what they do based off the talent pool that's in the draft.
Yeah, and this is a draft where Ryan Poles can fix a lot. Right. And there's so many. That's why I love that he set himself up so well. Like, and that's why it is the button, right? The Hold on. Here it is. I gotta have this. Brian. No, not that one. Which one is it? In polls we trust. That's why it is that, right? In polls we trust. We follow you, Ryan.
Oh my God.
Never mind. That was too far. My bad.
Polls for president, baby.
My fault.
I just gotta know why are we getting a photo of him licking his lips?
That's the only one I can find. That's the only one I can.
It's
the perfect headshot.
Hey, that's that light skin right there, boy.
That's the only one I can
That's
find.
that he about to eat in this coming up draft. He licking his chops.
Hey, with Carolina tweet that picture, he was like,
this next draft so good. Taste. But no, I look at the situation where the Bears are in right now. This is a 3-technique draft. This is a wide receiver draft. This is an offensive line draft. This is a tackle draft. This is everything that we feel like the Chicago Bears need. You literally can get it in this draft. I think if you want to, this is a quarterback draft. If you feel good about the quarterback position, if you don't want to, you've got a quarterback in place that I don't care what nobody say. Y'all can sit here and be pissed off about it or not. Justin Fields is developing. He's getting better. Since he's come back, he has literally gotten better. He should have another win under his belt for that Detroit game that somehow ends up getting botched.
And
the Cleveland game, he probably should have lost. That Cleveland game, he probably should have lost. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went back and watched that game. That was a bad game.
Those 4 games, he got a chance to sit and hear all that talk and actually see what was happening. I think that was the best thing for him because he came back.
That motivated. That definitely motivated him.
You what they want, bro. We want Fields. And that man was so humble about it, man. The way he received that, the way he was kind of like in love with the idea that Chicago was in love with him. It's just a small minority that don't really want.
Well, and that's the tough part you got to think about as well. And this is the part I feel like nobody takes into account. Everybody is always like, it's their money. Like, I have to think about the business of football. Like, I get it, bro. Like, yes, you have to think about the business. You know what you also have to think about? Those are people in there. It's not computer characters. You can't just swap out one dude, put another dude in, and then press square on time and the football is going to get to them. These are guys that literally I'm not one for the moral victories like at all, but like this season, the fact that we didn't hear one like, hey, this dude sucked, bro. I don't know what's going on with this dude. Right? I don't believe in him moving forward at all. We started off 2-7.
We started off horrible as an organization.
You heard none of. I don't believe in this guy. I think we need to move on. The Bears are probably going. Like you hear locker rooms. The freaking Cardinals knew they was gonna suck, and we heard problems out of the Cardinals locker room, right? Like you heard none of that here. And I do give credit to Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus for holding it together. And none of that being the issue and keeping this team motivated to go out there and try and win games. If you remove Justin Fields from this locker room, what is that going to do to this locker room? Courtney told me today, she said, I've never seen a locker room more united and don't trade my quarterback in my life. They are literally all like, why y'all keep asking me about trading Justin? If they move on from him, they trade.
DJ's about sick of the questions.
DJ's like, yo, how many times I got to tell y'all what I've already told y'all?
But what you're seeing is a byproduct of, again, second-year head coach, second-year offensive coordinator, and gets you under fire. Like, maybe I should scheme some things around what he can do versus I need you to fit into what I want him to do in terms of these concepts for the offensive side of the ball. So, one
Cotton,
feels
a good idea.
Huh?
You think that's a good idea, Cotton? You think that's a real good idea?
Cotton, I think that you should scheme for what your quarterback can do. He has ability to do some things. So what you're seeing is that if one, they believe in him. Two, you're still an entertainment business here, folks. The fact that the crowd chanted, "We want Fields," that's crazy. I don't think we've ever really heard that.
Never.
No, the fact that you have those little intangibles.
We want Mitch. I tell you that much.
Did they say Mitch or they say money?
They did for Mitch.
They did it for Mitch. His first season.
They wasn't.
They wanted. That's because they wanted to start over.
No, they wanted Mitch.
Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon was terrible.
Quarterback. They just wanted him to start.
We want Mitch. Get him in the game. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's actually one of my biggest arguments against letting go of Fields, and we're talking about what Caleb Williams could potentially bring, not just on the field, but what does he bring to the locker room? What does he bring as a leader? Those are question marks right now that we see clear as day. at USC is his leadership skills, him facing the noise and
that's
interviews.
That's going to be something that has to develop. Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
You don't
but Justin has that already.
You don't draft Caleb Williams. You get the Great White Hope. You know
what reminds me? I got okay.
No.
Baby, come on.
Look, I'm the old guy, right? So, do you all remember the 2000 Ravens and how they were running over everybody and one of the most dominant defenses ever?
Absolutely.
And they had Trent Dilfer as their quarterback, who was very mid. Now, Justin Fields, I think, is a better quarterback than him. But what did they do the next year? They moved on from Trent Dilfer and they brought in Elvis Gerback, who had all the tools of being a much better quarterback.
Can you say Gerback?
Gerback, Grbac.
Can you say that? That feels racial. That feels racial right there. Gerback? I don't know.
Gerback. And the continuity, the team, the chemistry, all that was shot. I mean, that's his name. Don't get mad at me.
Look at the kid face just.
Hey, listen, I would change my name if that was my name. You know?
But the point is that in terms of growing a team and cohesiveness in the room, it might be that, he fits. One, he is getting better. He's not. He hasn't got to where we want him as an elite, true, Pro Bowl quarterback. But I think he's on that path. Some guys, he might be in his fourth. Now he's going in his fourth year, but third year coming into this system, and that says a lot in terms of growth. But also, a coordinator is scheming for what he can do. And like you all said, everybody keeps saying if we get Marvin Harrison Jr., what does that do for Justin Fields? Because Tyler Scott dropped a touchdown. He dropped a bread basket in his hands, which would have been a four. He would have had over 300 yards. He would have had over 300 yards if that catch was made.
And dropped and Justin threw him 2 touchdowns. Remember on the one, for some reason, he just had one leg just up in the air like this.
Yes, he didn't.
That balance was horrible.
That touchdown that Justin threw.
That's coming from college, right? He ain't adjusted from college.
If Tunyon doesn't drop
1 foot touchdown, baby.
If Tunyon doesn't drop that ball in Cleveland, that's a 40-yard swing. Like those type of possessions that matter when you pay these professionals to do their job. So yes, if we were to get Marvin Harrison Jr. or another receiver of that caliber to offset that, his numbers go up. No, kid, no.
No. You say
what are you not in your head for?
Caliber. No, you get MHJ. You get.
I'm just saying that talent. We need talent.
Hey, I hear the conversation on all the other wide receivers in this draft. I really do, and I haven't gone through all of them. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I have.
I've watched
Neighbors
and Odunze are actually legit wide receiver ones, but they don't have the same. I'm sorry. It's just something special about MHJ. You're not comparing those two to him.
MHJ got that it looks like his hands are like how Larry Fitzgerald's were, where like they said when he caught the football, it sounded like pillows. Like I'll see somebody like throw a dart and I'll see MHJ just bring it in.
Yeah.
Like it's basically saying he got soft hands. Like they would talk about Larry Fitzgerald and they say when the ball hit my hand, it sounded like it's hitting a frying pan. When it hit his hand,
if you got a quarterback that's in the bottom 15, then you pass up on him. But if you don't have a quarterback that's in the bottom 15, you don't pass up on that type of talent, bro. Honestly, I don't even think we can name 15 quarterbacks better than Justin Fields. Honestly.
All right, 15 is different. You said top 10.
Now you moved up to 10, but that's okay, Calvin. That's all right.
Hey,
you gonna struggle at 10.
He's trying to slowly.
He's like a top 7.
I think he's struggling at 10, baby. Hey, he's just on the rise. Let's just say he's on the rise. Say that. He's on the rise. Hey, he is on the rise. Jordan Love next week. Let's be cool. Let's be cool.
I would prefer to build this.
Jordan Love is out there. Jordan Love.
I would prefer to build the infrastructure, and if Fields doesn't work, you then go and get the guy. So now you can insulate him where he can now actually do something with the talent. If we put talent in this room, we don't have the talent yet. It's almost there. What's going on?
No, I'm just reading the chat.
I just think that
we got ADD, man. You play Monopoly with us. You can't follow Kid Faith.
I was just making sure, man. My fault, man. I thought I was letting him interject.
Anyways, the point is that the chat. Baby, what you doing?
I know the chat has been jumping, man. The joke has been going ham.
I love
70 in the chat, by the way.
370. I love it.
I love it, man.
Nice.
But once we get, the thing is, I would rather build this team up like Kansas City. I like how the 49ers built their team. Even the Ravens. You forget that Flacco was the quarterback on the Ravens. They had a competent squad. And then they traded and they had Lamar sit. So and he came into a pretty good team.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all we want. Let's get this team to a point where we don't want another guy to come in here and end up failing, right? Or he doesn't have all the tools he needs. We still need linemen. We still need another receiver. Because I mean, as much as I like
a center.
I love Cole Kmet.
Yes.
You definitely need a center.
But we don't have a second option.
Yeah.
So
what do you mean? Oh, from center.
Well, I think there's a part of that too that is on Justin Fields. I've said that a couple of times, right? Justin Fields is a very 1-2 me read type quarterback, right? I think 1 and 2 is DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. 3 is him. Maybe the running back. Sometimes he'll go to the running back.
It's me.
Yeah, right. But guess what? Like, that's kind of, I'm okay with that because, yeah, everybody's like, well, he's not reading the whole field in that scenario. Yeah, but he's also one of the best athletes on the field. And he's going to get, like, I think people think this Justin Fields is the greatest he'll ever be. Like, he's never going to get better.
No.
He's never moving in the right direction. He's never going to study anymore. It's like, okay, like, but also he's going to keep playing. Like, it's not a Mitch situation. He's not leaving here to go be a backup. He's leaving here to go start somewhere.
Yeah,
what I'd like to see is that, with Getsy, like I think we saw a slant. So I think we saw a slant Sunday.
We saw one slant, baby.
We saw a slant.
First of the year.
So, are we going to see the playbook expand and we're going to get some more concepts? And, because to me, what I loved about Fields, what I saw was like that Joker broke 2 tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, they had him. And that's what he was doing last year. And then he was able to extend the play, right? I like that. That's the off-script stuff I like. So he can do that. And if we can continue to
work and players just don't execute right, that 4th and 1 play. If Darnell Mooney just throws like a little anything, like he could have laid down. He literally could have just fallen in front of the guy.
Yeah.
And it would have given Justin Fields the opportunity to get that first down. I think that when you look at that, right, like you have to have that conversation about everybody. And that's why, right, when I dropped the video today about how there's a big chance that Luke Getsy's coming back, it's because in a scenario where, hold on, did we freeze?
No.
I guess they're saying we stuck. We were stuck
for a hot second.
Are we back? Are we back? Are we good? Hold on.
It was a hot second. We good.
Okay,
no, we're good.
You getting saucy on them now, Pat?
I just want to make
sure. Saucy. Oh, don't even start that.
But no, I feel like we're in a scenario where everybody could be back because they may look at it as, do I want to start a new offensive coordinator with a brand new quarterback and a brand new left tackle and a brand new center? Do I want to start a new quarterback with a brand new, what are you doing? What do you get stop it. Don't touch me.
But you know what Pohl said? I think sometimes it's deciphering the what he's saying and deciphering what he said. What he said was the little things, right? We have to do better at
here. We can play the full-on quote. We can play the full-on quote right here.
What?
These guys get to play more and more games together. You'll see more and more consistency. But to really echo Coach in his emphasis in the last few weeks, and specifically this week, is it comes down to the details. And those details need to be cleaned up on all areas, from the coaches to the players. Like the old saying, you are what your record is. So we'll look at that. But I think it's important to go back and look at those tough losses and those close games and see what you need to improve. If it's from a schematic standpoint, if it's from a player standpoint, that's going to be the important piece. When I take a peek back a year, in 2022, you can kind of see their improvements from how many of those tough losses we've had. So we're starting to close the gap. We just got to do it at a higher rate.
That's our president, baby.
So that's my point.
Higher rate. I like.
They looked impressive against like Detroit for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
Detroit. They looked impressive in a lot of the games. And then it's the second half drop off. They look very complacent. They're playing not to lose. So to me, it's like, okay, there's improvement all the way around with that they could get better. They finally finished the game against Atlanta, right? They started off getting hot again. And the third quarter was like, okay, we got to score, And so I think they're going to bring him up. Trust me. Hey, y'all at Breeze Nation, I don't want Getsy back. But I think
I definitely don't want Luke Getsy.
Yeah, for continuity,
he's the one person I'm good.
Here's the thing: we all agree we don't believe in him.
No. Yeah.
But I
Not
think
at
it
all.
messes with the continuity of him. Like, do you want this quarterback to start over another? Unless we're keeping the same concepts, the same scheme,
and I
and
think
someone runs it better, then fine.
Yeah. And I think that and I do agree that Luke Getsy's last game is probably the best game he's called. He called a really, really good game. I thought he created multiple opportunities versus an elite defense that the Bears could score touchdowns in. If Tyler Scott brings in 2 of them, you got 2 more touchdowns. I really do believe that the Chicago Bears are moving in the right direction offensively. But you do have to weigh the fact that, one, you're in a playoff mode next year. You're not in a let's win 9 games.
Yeah,
we need to be in the playoffs.
it's time to go. Yeah.
So that means that in theory, Matt Eberflus, even though maybe he comes out of this season feeling very confident that he's going to be back, you don't make the playoffs next year. Oh, that seat is on fire. It ain't a hot seat. It's like, oh, you might not be here, dog. Right? You go right back to everything that the narrative was about you before this defense started cooking. I think on the flip side of that, it's going to be very hard to go out there and get a different offensive coordinator to attach himself to that. He don't know if Luce is going to be there next year. They know how the politics of football go. Am I going to go sign somewhere where I'm going to be fired the next year if Justin Fields doesn't understand the concepts immediately? I think on that point as well, if you're Matt Eberflus, you also put yourself on the hot seat because you have to go out and find a guy that is going to fit immediately. Like Justin Fields has to look at the playbook in training camp and say, oh, no, that makes sense. That's all it was? Oh, okay, we got that. We're going to make that happen. Like there's a lot on if you move on from Getsy where it has to work right away because you made such a drastic change. I agree we need to move on from him. I don't like him, but I don't know if it's going to fit into the narrative for them.
But you know why? I think you might have more success. Let's say he moves on, but we're able to keep the same scheme. If this is the Shanahan Packers scheme, like in the past, we had Ron Turner's offense. And when Ron Turner left, he took his offense with him. We had, I don't even know what John Shoup called. That was just trash. Like we never had a true identity of an offense. So if we're able to bring in this zone blocking run scheme, whatever it is, and a lot of teams have run it, we can get guys that might know it. Like Sean McVay, he took that offense and made it his own offense, right? Then you got the other disciple, LeFleur up in Green Bay. You know, LeFleur, he took that offense. But it's a derivative of that offense. So are we able to, if it's not the the quarterback coach to be plucked from Green Bay, is there another guy that has a similar offense that we can run, and keep it going? Or Getsy just gets better and they say stop playing like a punk and come out firing in the third quarter.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. I think that there's, and again, that goes into the options that Ryan Poles. The one thing I do love about Lion, I had a stroke there. Y'all saw that. The one thing I do love about Ryan Poles is he's not backing himself against the wall. He's not cornered in, right? Like Ryan Pace, we appreciated him for being aggressive. You go out there, you get Khalil Mack. That's what I want to see. Here we go, baby.
We got some super chats.
But he was absolutely backed against the wall. It didn't work the first time, and it didn't work the second year, and we was like, uh-oh. This ain't gonna be good, boys. Right?
I would say,
and he was gone a year later.
But I would say that
the Shadow Boy.
Dan Tanner, what's up, man?
Tanner out here, he said, I think Poles did such a great job, did such a great fleece that even if he keeps Justin Fields and Justin Fields sucks next year, the Bears will have another number 1 pick next year.
Oh no, we're not gonna.
They might
not us.
No,
they
probably
like that scenario. But
I get what you're saying. Year. They probably won't have the number 1 overall pick next year, but they probably will have another first round pick going into next year, especially if the like they said in the article, they're going to get a bigger package for pause. They're going to get a bigger trade haul for this year than they did for Bryce Young. Yeah, that was crazy. Yes,
that messed him all the way up.
And there was a pause. That was a tough combination there as well. Shadow Boy says Eric Bieniemy went to Washington. I know. Thanks for the super chat.
We appreciate you. Yes,
the
the
first,
enemy went to
the
Washington.
first major pause of 2024 just happened.
That was
that was major.
That was a
That
tough.
was
Starting off the year right.
That was major. That was.
Hey,
was
we've
there.
got our
That was
first
there.
pause of the year. I think it's time to get up out of here, boys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like
me
button,
down here from
subscribe
here,
to the
Pat.
page. Leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate the squad for pulling up the super producer Joel Holt, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, C Dub, that guy in the Sox hat, and Jordan JC Cubs hat. Y'all stay safe out here, Chicago. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Bear down.